Two boys, one podcast. Two boys, one podcast. Your movie connection. When it's time for reflecting, we make fun of each other, then do film reviews. Winner or loser, is this movie right for you? Nope, it sucks. Don't press your luck. You better listen to us. Two boys, one podcast.
It was a
Hi,
dark and stormy podcast.
Hi,
Annyeong.
how are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Is it dark and stormy?
It's dark and stormy.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it spooky?
Yeah. The fog's rolling in.
The East River Bank?
I guess it's probably different fog for you.
Misty.
Mist. You have mist. I have fog.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I mean, but it's kind of neat that we're in the same weather.
Sure. That makes sense because we're not in the same place.
Where no?
We're no.
Where are you?
I'm here.
Well, I'm here.
Oh. Well, no. You're in the Deutschland. What do they call it over there?
Deutschland?
Deutschland.
Yeah. Deutschies. They call themselves Deutschies.
Okay.
Kind of sounds funny.
Like, is that cheese?
But just a bunch of Deutschies. Look at all these Deutschies walking around.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a Deutschie, that's a Deutschie, all the Deutschies.
How are the trains?
I've only rode one. It was swift.
Have you been on the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah. 9.
Ja.
John 9.
It's not as scary as you might think. You ever been on that?
I never have.
Oh, okay. It's just like an interstates.
But it's faster,
I mean,
right?
that's where Eisenhower got the idea for crying out loud.
I thought
Don't you remember? You're the history guy.
I never met him.
Eisenhower went over there and he said, "Oh, look at that. That's fun. That's good.
I never
That's
met
great.
Ike.
We're gonna do that." Did you like him though?
Oh, I like Ike.
You do.
Everybody likes Ike.
His opponents didn't.
That's because they were all defeated.
That's true.
I never
They were
met a fight he
biased.
couldn't win.
Why are we talking so loud? Do you think?
Well, I can't hear you
Oh,
because you're not in the room.
I know. How many times do you have to say that?
All of them?
All the times?
All of the
How
time.
many times?
A few more.
Okay.
All right.
I
Whatever.
had cheese in Switzerland too. Swiss cheese. I had
When-
Swiss cheese.
when you got
but
over
it wasn't Swiss cheese.
Are you in Berlin?
No.
When you got over there, did you say, I'm a jelly donut?
Why would I say that? I don't know that reference.
Ich bin ein Berliner. That's what JFK said
He says,
when he was over there.
I am a Berliner.
He meant to say I'm a Berliner, but really,
What he said was, "I'm a jelly donut."
I'm a jelly donut. Because there's a donut that they had over there called the Berliner, and the slight mispronunciation difference meant, I'm a jelly donut.
That's funny.
It is.
Was he at the Brandenburg Gate?
I don't know.
I bet he was.
He probably wasn't at Casey's.
How was Casey's? They still around over there?
Yeah, they're here. They
Yeah.
have donuts and pizza.
Is it still a general store?
gas. I feel like general store is a loose interpretation of what they have.
What do
but-
they sell? Generals?
I mean,
Or
if you want to
General
be a
owns
general,
it?
Ike became a general because he was at Casey's. And they're like, you're here. It's a general store. You're our man.
Yeah, man, you're a general.
You're a general. In general, you're a general.
I flew into Zurich. That's in Switzerland.
You seen any castles?
So yeah, off in the mist.
In the mist. Oh no.
Yeah.
Where they're
Yeah.
lost.
Yeah.
They're lost to us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, I saw the castle. They're all over the goddamn place.
I mean, I don't
You've been
have
over.
one.
You've been in the area. You've seen. You go to Europe. The place is fucking lousy with castles. every asshole with a mason has a fucking castle. Okay. Yeah, I've seen a castle. Okay.
Fine. All right. Did you see the one that's like surrounded by the water and it has
Yeah,
the maven and the
yeah,
raven?
I
and it's
saw
like really
that.
Tall, has the
I
point
saw.
on the thing?
Yeah, I saw two of those.
Hmm.
I saw the one with the parapets.
Ooh.
I saw one with the Castle Freak. And it.
What a freak! You freak you out?
You ever seen that movie, Castle Freak?
No.
No.
Is it surrounded by mist?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
I don't know anything all this goddamn mist.
All mist and no fog
Cheese.
makes a castle freak of us all.
We're very fond of the mist.
Very
yeah.
fond of the 99999.
It's got some mist, yeah. Yeah, welcome to Deutschland. Have you seen our mist? Yeah.
Please step into the gift shop.
Have a schnitzel. It's the first thing I heard off the plane.
I mean, they're just a bunch of grumpy krauts, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. Figures.
I mean, are there any castles in America? I don't think so.
I mean, yeah, there's some actually nearby Sioux Falls. There's one.
No.
I mean, there's a couple that look like hospitals, but there's one that actually a surgeon built it it's over by Harrisburg off 11. And he's got the turret up there, and
it's not a real castle. What makes it a castle? This is a castle, and then it's a castle?
Yeah.
I don't feel like you can make a castle anymore. I think now it's a mansion. Maybe it looks like a castle.
That's probably true. So what you're saying is the difference between a mansion and a castle is central air?
I think a castle now could have central air, but I think it needs to have been built before a certain time.
It needs to have been used for defensive structure.
Yes, right.
Okay. All right. That's not, I mean, I can get
for siege warfare.
Sure. All right.
So, and then otherwise it's a palace.
A moat is neither here nor there. But a castle doesn't have to have a moat, but a moat must be around a castle?
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
Okay. Otherwise, it's just like a track pool?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Have you seen any moats?
I'd put some eels in my moat.
Eels? Yeah. Electric eels?
I don't know, just eels. They're gross.
Do you think that if you had one of those, like, power wheels, like a water wheel thing, and then you also had electric eels in said pool, do you think that you could just take care of everything then? Like, you'd have electricity and everything?
Seems like you only need one or the other.
But then you have a backup. It's like a natural generator, right?
That's true. Yeah. That's true.
Could you charge your phone off of?
Yeah, that's how I would
off
do
of an
it.
eel.
Oh, for sure.
Like a pocket eel.
Oh yeah.
Plus, then you got some sushi to go.
Man, you can't go wrong.
No, man. AC/DC. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's where the Tesla coil came from. Was just an electric eel.
Yeah, he knew his stuff.
Yeah. Plus, he was like.
Eel stuff.
He
knew his eel stuff.
He eeled himself.
He eeled himself. He eeled himself.
He eeled himself.
He eel himself, eh?
Yep.
Right, we'll go to the pub and have a pint. What do you say, eh?
So what's is all the beer over there Oktoberfest?
No.
Is it all Heineken?
Yep.
Does it smell like skunks?
Mm-hmm. Tastes like it too.
Mm-hmm. That's too bad.
Now it all has monks on it though. On the label.
We have a monk here. Monk's Brewery.
It's not a different type of monk.
Is it like a USA monk, like a detective?
Yeah, it's like a Tony Shalhoub. They got Tony Shalhoub on all the labels.
I would too.
Kind of seems weird, but that's what they have.
They're just big fans of the show. Like a documentary.
Why wouldn't they be?
I mean, the best line out of Monk is just praying for that sweet release that only death can bring.
That's true.
Yeah.
And they put it on their beer out here. They're very happy.
I mean, beer usually leads to that sweet release that only death can bring. So.
More often than it should, that's for sure.
For sure. For sure.
How are things stateside?
I mean, you're not missing out on anything.
No?
No.
How's the weather?
I mean, I'm never a big fan of it, but...
No, I know you're not.
Yeah, that's better than it was a month ago. That's for darn tootin'.
Is everything all bloomy and pretty? And
wouldn't know. Ask somebody else. There's no one left. Ask the person on the train next time you see him.
Okay. I will.
I believe you.
Sprecky's the English? Then what good are you? No.
Sprechen
Then what good are you?
No good. So good. So good.
Du hast schöne Schuhe. I say that a lot.
What does that mean?
You have nice shoes.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, should we talk about a movie?
Did you want to?
I mean, I'm indifferent. Good to talk to you either way.
Yeah. It's nice to hear a friendly voice.
Well, you'll have to try again later for that.
It's not. I mean, I have a friend here, but it's a German voice, and all their voices are like.
So with Dom.
Just kidding. That's
do they have YouTube? Do they have YouTube in Germany?
Yeah.
Have you subscribed into the podcast yet?
Yeah, of course.
Good. Make sure that's done.
It's a big fan.
With international fans.
Yeah. We're across the pond now.
Yep. Yep.
Hard to believe.
I mean, Germany really screwed the pooch trying to create that Third Reich, but we've created the Third Mike. So...
Wow. Well, glad to know you haven't changed in the past couple of weeks.
No, not at all.
That's good.
Jokes have not gotten better.
Third mic.
The third mic. Yep. So you tell Dom when he listens to comment, and then we'll make sure he has a fun stage name.
Copy that.
All right. Plagiarize that. Hit it.
Zeke, wake, it's time for the next segment. Zeke, wake, it's time for the next segment. Gonna talk about a movie, we call it The Fog. It has got Jamie Lee Curtis in there, and then Tom Atkins too. It's about lepers, meat hooks, and then probably some fish too. Lighthouse, radio station, it's got a lot of stairs there. Grandpa was a priest, and now he hid his journal. Zeke awake. Jesus.
It sounds better in Germany.
Yeah, you would.
I was just gonna let it go.
Yeah, I know you were.
Like, man, just lost myself in it. It's great. It's great. So, yeah, this is one of those like fun situations. Last week we covered Kill Shot 2008.
It was a couple of weeks ago. Last episode.
That's right. Last episode. Sorry, last episode. Al Holbrook, and now we're covering The Fog, the original one, John Carpenter one, and it's a fun situation because this movie starts 5 minutes to midnight.
Is that why we were talking about Fog?
Yeah. Well, I mean that, and we saw it. You had The Mist, I had The Fog, but we watched the right movies. At least that's a step in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But this movie starts on April 21st, and you know what day it is?
It's. Let me look. Oh, it's April 21st.
We did it!
Holy cow.
Right? Vaca Sagrada.
That's pretty neat.
Right? That's pretty fun. So this movie is... The whole thing starts where Al Holbrook is... He's drinking late at night, like by himself in the church. And...
He's a Catholic priest, so he's a little into the bottle.
Yeah. At first I thought it was that same whiskey from The Thing. It certainly looked like the same bottle, probably. But I wasn't sure. Like they had the label off of it, and they never showed the label specifically. So
and it was definitely a JB.
Yeah,
J&B, whatever.
J&B, yeah.
Here is his synopsis. See, an unearthly fog rolls into a small coastal town exactly 100 years after a ship mysteriously sank in its waters.
So there are some things about this I'm a little confused about, but we'll get into that.
Sure.
So the whole thing, Holbrook is drinking alone. And then lightning strikes, and the whole thing starts with a ghost story.
Yeah,
a ghost story that's based loosely on 11:55.
Time for one last story. One last story before the witching hour.
Yes, well done. It will be in 5 minutes. A story to keep you warm. In 5 minutes, it will be the 21st of April. And then he goes into this whole thing about, like, the ship that goes down.
Mm-hmm.
But then it cuts to Holbrook, and he's drinking by himself, and lightning strikes like right on the stroke of midnight in the witching hour. The witching hour. And this stone falls on a table, crushes. Like, did he drop the bottle that he was drinking out of, or did it crush the bottle?
I don't think it really matters. I couldn't
Doesn't
tell
matter.
you for sure.
Anyway, the thing falls down. It reveals.
Just worried about that poor drink.
It reveals. I mean, I wanted the drink to survive.
Yeah, well, it didn't.
It reveals this notebook, and it's 1880 from a journal from Father Patrick Malone, and it's relevant because Holbrook's character is Father Malone.
Father Malone.
So, and then he opens it up, and it says, "Midnight to one belongs to the dead. May the good Lord deliver us." And that's it. And then he, like, the next time we see him is like dithering about this book and how he wants to read. But he didn't even finish reading the journal. He's just like, blah, blah, blah.
He got so far in, he couldn't go any further.
Anyway, the whole thing is like his grandfather was Father Patrick Malone, and it's somehow he'd been a part of this like plundering group.
I don't think it was quite a plundering group. He was kind of a town founder.
But then he double-crossed the pirates.
I think they were lepers, not pirates. I think we got that wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. But they were on a ship.
Yeah, which is why we thought they were pirates.
But then they had like these.
They look like pirates. I know they did, but
it's like Pirates of the Caribbean. They were.
I know that, but I'm quite certain that they were lepers, not pirates.
Yeah, Night of the Lepers. All right, so then they had these like big hook things that they would use to pull fish on board.
Yeah, meat hooks.
So why did the lepers have them?
Well, they're still a seafaring.
There's a leper colony at sea.
It was off on an island.
Well, why'd they have a bunch of gold then?
That's a good question. Apparently, their leader was well off. That doesn't explain why he had a giant gold cross.
So Father Patrick Malone he stole all the gold from them and melted it down, and he started this colony.
I missed that part. Okay.
But he made it seem like he used the gold to start the colony, and then the leftovers he melted down into a cross, and then he hid the cross in the wall. And Malone Current said, "My grandfather hid all of his sins in the walls."
Yeah.
But he didn't hide his grandmother in the wall because evidently John Carpenter doesn't know how Catholicism works.
Right. Priests are not supposed to have children.
Right.
They're not supposed to have hanky-pankies.
No. And then, so somehow, his grandfather was a priest. He's a priest.
Originally.
Judas Priest.
Judas Priest. I had thought maybe the older Malone had a brother, carried on the family name, so like this new Father Malone would be like his great nephew or something. But then later on, they sure enough come out and say it's his grandpa. Which, I mean, I guess the only explanation you could have would be old Father Malone was married, had kids, and then took the cloth.
Sure. It just seems like a weird thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. Carpenter probably doesn't know how. Don't most people know that, though? I mean, is that not...
I feel like that's pretty common knowledge, yeah.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I honestly don't... I don't know.
Spring Dingus, call out from across the ocean. Do you know how priests work?
Let us know. Comment on our page. We're stuck between the pond and the pond. So the whole somehow doesn't really matter, I guess, how the curse happened, but every 100 years they come back to this Antonio Bay, California, to the campfire that led them to their dark and icy death.
Well,
and I guess that's more poetic than accurate.
So the town folk, the lepers wanted to come live about a mile away from their town, and the town folk agreed, or at least 6 of these conspirators. Was it 6 or 7?
6. 6 must die. 6 must die.
So they agreed to let the lepers live, but then when the lepers were coming on their ship, they moved the fire or the light, turned out the lighthouse or something. Anyways, they made the ship with the lepers crash, and then the lepers needed to exact their revenge by 100 years later killing their descendants.
I mean, they were witch lepers.
Yeah.
Or, I mean, they never really explained why midnight to 1 was the witching hour.
That's just it's common.
But it must have been when the ship went down and that weird things happened in there.
Yep.
People are up late in this movie from the beginning. Like Stevie Wayne, she's the radio operator played by Adrienne Barbeau. And she's like, I'm gonna be up all night. From midnight to 1, you're with me, and it's the witching hour. But really, like, what she didn't say is she was like the seeing eye of this movie. She could see everything that happened in that little town.
She was below it, but she could see it all.
She could see it all. Yep. It's interesting. So the Elizabeth Dane was the leper ship, and only from midnight to 1 on. So I thought it was only midnight to 1 on the anniversary, but it was a couple nights.
And the eve, apparently.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't really put that together until right now.
Yeah.
Like it's more than 1 night. It's not just
2. Well, it's. I mean,
is it until they get their?
Yeah, I don't know,
anniversary, and then until they get their.
On the anniversary, they got it, so
they
stopped. But would it have continued? We don't know.
And also, I still don't like the priest is mumbling throughout towards the end, like, why didn't they take me? Why wasn't it me? Did you count the deaths?
No, I sure didn't. It must have been more than.
I think they got more than 6.
I think they had to get those. There were 6 that had to go. If more happened, no problem. But they
So
wouldn't.
six
They wouldn't.
specific.
Yeah, they had to get those 6 specific folks.
And they had to be ancestors or just.
Yeah.
So the old lady babysitter, she just had to go?
I think she was just collateral. That's what I'm saying. It's like they needed to get those 6, and anybody else. Just maybe. But the babysitter. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't keep track how many died.
So 3 died on the boat.
Yeah. Okay, that's 3.
Then the old grandma lady.
Grandma lady, Papa. I mean priest.
Yeah, that's 5.
That is 5. Yeah.
And I don't know after that. So that's what I was confused on. Like he's like, why?
Okay, I guess
I'm the 6th
grandma
man.
was.
But I don't understand why. Why did it have to be like his grandfather?
Because he was treacherous.
Was treacherous, but he assumed the guilt. He's like, I'll pay the debt. The 6th must be me. I changed the campfire light to the cold and icy dark death. I don't know. I mean, they should have just called them the gas pump gypsies, because the first time we see the fog lepers,
just the fog.
We just see the fog. We don't know that there's lepers inside of it.
No, we didn't know about the
they blow up a gas station and they set off car alarms. Yeah. Simultaneously.
Yeah, they did do that. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. One brief moment.
I know what he's doing. Oh, I know those little things.
Yes, have one.
Thanks. How could we forget that?
Right?
You know what time it is?
It's
Coca-Cola.
Coke and Pounders? I did it wrong again, didn't I?
It's Gutbusters.
Gutbusters
and a Coke. Anyways, yeah, it's a Gutbuster and Coke. Here's the Coke. Cherry.
What is a Gutbuster? I did Pounders again. I don't understand why.
I don't know. I mean,
what did I do wrong? I did something wrong. Go ahead and tell me what I did wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. You just We've had this conversation so many times about the goddamn Gutbusters.
That's true.
I told you. I looked it up, and on the message boards it says that a Gutbuster is an exercise, a core exercise. That's 1. 2, a greasy hamburger. 3, apparently, and I don't know which Halloween movie, but in one of the Halloween movies they mention a Gutbuster, and it's a milkshake with like a really thick milkshake with like peanut butter and whatever else would make a really thick milkshake. But in this instance, it seems like it would be a ham blanket.
But all right, so the kid to Adrian, he wants back in the 80s they just let people do whatever they wanted, and so the kids are running around. He doesn't really know, and he's just like he goes out and finds this wood plank and brings it in, wakes her up because she works the night shift, so she's tired. Yep. Thinks he finds a gold coin. I still don't understand that whole thing.
It was a coin, and then it turned into...
Yeah, and 3 different people throughout the show talk about that switching.
Yep.
Anyway,
that's weird.
He wants to go have a gut puncher?
Gutbuster.
A Gutbuster.
Yep.
A Gutbuster and a Coke, and his mom's like, after you eat lunch. But it's not breakfast time. It's like breakfast time now, I guess. I'm drinking a cherry Coke. What kind of Coke did you get on the train?
Just a regular cherry Coke. That is. That's crazy.
Terry tote. Anyway, that's fun. I don't understand why, if it was a hamburger, why they would say after lunch. Like, why would he...
Did she say after lunch? I thought she just said maybe later.
I thought she said maybe later after you eat lunch.
Maybe later after you eat lunch, maybe later. It wouldn't make sense. You're gonna eat lunch, and then I guess it'd have to be something else.
But then it doesn't make sense why he would ask permission to have like an ab workout.
Right.
And it doesn't make sense why he would eat lunch and then have a Coke and a milkshake. Right. But I guess he's a child.
I guess we're never gonna know.
I mean, probably not. I don't know Carpenter.
You don't?
No.
I guess I don't.
Never played craps with him. Never set up shop with him.
Shut up. You shut up.
But one thing that what was it? What Sky? Stevie Wayne. Stevie Wayne.
She's a pretty good DJ. She's no Stretch.
The Lighthouse DJ.
The Lighthouse DJ.
She's not Stretch. Actually, when I watched this, I looked up Stretch.
You did.
Because before I realized that was Adrian's character, I thought, we've talked about this before, and she's kind of played that same character like in 3 different unrelated movies.
Yep.
So I was like, maybe this was one of them.
Yeah, sure.
But it's not.
No.
And Adrian modeled her Stevie character after somebody else who was a disc jockey in the 60s.
Okay.
I think that she went by the Nightingale or something like that. Anyway, this is the Lighthouse radio station, KAB, and Adrian...
Cab.
Yeah, which is weird because you would have 4 letters.
Yeah,
usually,
I was just gonna say.
Yeah,
it doesn't
make sense, but it is fictional. So, but she drives the Thing car, and when I saw this, I was like, "That's kind of fun." It's not foreshadowing, but it's like throwback to John Carpenter made the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then you said, "No, this was before the Thing."
Yeah.
So it's just a weird car that she drives.
By 2 years.
All right.
Foreshadowed his own movie, I guess.
So
I guess is what he did.
Stomach pounders and cokes. I haven't had it written down.
Gutbusters.
Stomach pounders and cokes is what I have written down.
I'm gonna throw you through a window into a gazebo until you lose your cowboy boot.
That's fair. So the whole time I thought this was Pirates of the Caribbean, and you're telling me it's the Night of the Lepers.
They talked about the lepers.
The Night of the
You weren't
Lepist.
listening. That's when one priest was reading the other priest's thing and was talking about the lepers.
I don't ever not listen.
I mean, you surprisingly catch a lot of things, but then you miss.
I missed something right in front of me.
Right in your kisser.
Yeah. So.
What about Tom Atkins? I mean, he's old. We haven't even mentioned
Halloween 3?
Shit, no, I can't even remember her name. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh, Jamie Lee Curtis. So this movie covers all the Halloweens. You got Jamie Lee Curtis, and then it's got who's the guy from Halloween?
Tom Atkins.
That's Tom Atkins. So yeah, so this is
It's our buddy.
It is our buddy. Jamie Lee has a very small role in this. She plays like a lot lizard drifter.
Wasn't that small?
Well, she said it was small.
Yeah, I know you told me that, but it wasn't. She's wrong.
She is wrong. But it's frustrating that she said it anyway.
She's kind of weird.
Yeah. I know. I thought that Barbo, however you say her name, I thought she did a great job.
Yeah.
The DJ.
Yep.
Definitely carried this film. I did not realize that this Antonio Bay was real. I thought this was a fictional spot.
I'm still not 100% convinced it is real.
But I thought overall it was interesting. There were some gaps, but I thought it was an interesting movie.
You think so?
I'd watch it again.
You would? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would too.
I mean, I haven't seen a lot of Carpenter stuff. I don't think
getting up there.
I don't think that it's better than They Live or The Thing, certainly.
No, certainly
but
not.
I thought that it was good.
Good Lord, no.
Yeah. I thought that it was good. I did not.
I mean, I don't like agreeing with you, but yeah, it's not bad.
I guess why? I mean, they went to the trouble. I don't know. I do have Leper Colony written down.
Yeah,
The Witching Hour.
See, you just didn't put it together.
I mean, I wish they had taken up the. I didn't put it together. I literally, I know I'm still struggling with this. I wish they would have had somebody yell, "Get the fog out of here!" and then gone in with a vacuum cleaner strapped to their back and just started sucking it up.
Big fan.
Yeah, big fan.
Big
Blow
fan.
it out of here! Blow it out of here!
That fog came rolling in under cracks with quite a bit of force.
So I looked up the IMDb page before the show, and it said, "Lock your windows, bolt your doors, because the fog's rolling in." And in the movie,
seems like a rhyme.
It rolled under the doors. What good does it do? Oh, the other radio guy died. The weather guy.
Oh yeah, he did.
He's like, I haven't talked to the weatherman. Not that it mattered. He was wrong about everything. Usual.
He said the glowing fog was coming in. Some glowy fog.
I didn't like that she could see everything. Like, I can see it. It's going. My son's stuck in the closet. She could see it from the radio station.
Yeah.
But I'm willing to forgive a lot of things because if there was a Lighthouse radio station, I would listen to it. I would love to podcast in a Lighthouse. That would be amazing.
That would be pretty cool. I wouldn't. I mean, it'd be cool for you to have that experience. I'll stay.
Well, you're not invited.
Okay, good.
Fine. I mean, the whole movie starts with an Edgar Allan Poe quote.
All that is... What was it? All that is...
something dark and gloomy. I was more of a fan of his slam.
That doesn't check out.
Slam sunshine poetry. I didn't really read the rest of it.
I guess I missed some of that time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, check it out. It's worth checking out.
So
he was a cheerful guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember I should have written down what the quote was. And there was like some date thing, but
all that is seen is and unseen. All shivers and brains.
One thing I did really like about this, and I'm not sure you could even do it now. I take that back. At Sundance this last year, in the midnight categories, there was a film called Wounds.
Yeah.
And it had Dakota Johnson and Armie Hammer. And it was about cockroaches.
Name's Armie Hammer?
Armie Hammer. And if I understand right, I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that his grandfather was Armand Hammer.
Okay, all right.
Not sure on that. Anyway, this thing was about cockroaches, and the film production staff went and left, we watched it in the Egyptian, and they would leave these fake cockroaches around the festival in theaters.
Oh, cool.
To kind of help
yeah.
spread promotions and Christmas cheer. This film, when it came out, they spent, I can't remember what the number was, but I know that each fog machine cost $350, and the first run select few theaters that got it, they had fog roll into the theater.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So that made me like it a little bit more. That was pretty cool.
Definitely.
I thought that was fun. And I think a lot of these films get more traction now than they got back then, but
seems that way, but it's hard to.
I think at the time this was probably a top performer for Carpenter.
Yeah, I would say. He's coming hot off of Halloween, so I'm sure.
Yeah.
If people were like they are these days, they're like, oh, he did that last movie, which you would think they probably were that way, but.
I mean, I don't know what their budget was, but I certainly liked what they did, and the glowing eyes, the lepers, that was pretty cool. I thought it was like a prequel to Pirates of the Caribbean this whole time. I thought they were like cursed pirates.
They're cursed lepers. Yeah, I really like Carpenter with his lighting. He's always got like green lights shining or red lights. It's very atmospheric.
I did see that they had shot this on anamorphic lenses, so they said that it was low budget for the time, and given that he was a name when this was made, and they had everybody in it is really recognizable.
Yep.
Even now, but I think adjusting those the aspect and the lenses that they shot it on really added to the longevity of it, because I really liked how it looked.
Yeah,
it held up well.
I'd agree with that.
And Adrienne, I like everything that she does that I've seen. I think I first noticed her in Cannonball Run, and that movie's stacked with celebrities in it. And while it's not a great movie per se, I think she stood out. So, and she certainly stood out in this one.
She certainly did. I haven't seen Cannonball Run, but I wouldn't doubt it.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did too.
I don't know that the ending makes sense. As far as they broke the curse and they still killed Father Malone.
Well, and then the curse was broken after that. Thought it was over, and he says, I survived," and then nope.
But Stevie Wayne on the mic, really, she's just a podcast slinger. But
slang tent.
Yeah, if at the end she's talking all trembly into the microphone, and it made it seem like she wasn't sure that it was done, because she wasn't there at the end. She just oversaw all this from her lighthouse. But the people who were actually there in the church, they didn't really say anything.
Well, they couldn't hear her.
Sure, but they had a radio with them.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I missed that.
Carried it around.
That was smart.
It didn't help.
No, it didn't.
And they just kind of all scattered at the end of the movie. They defeat the army of lepers, most dangerous army there is. Yep. And then they have I don't know, they're like, all right, later, Father Malone, and they just leave him in the church to clean everything up.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, should have been me. I
think he said, why didn't they take me?
Sure. And then they came back, right on cue. Bob rolled in.
Took him.
He did. I mean, I guess the next question I have is, I've conceded that they are a leper army.
Okay.
Why they're some of them have these little grappling hook fish things, and
You-
others
you
have
think-
swords.
Yeah, well,
Like the one guy killed him with the sword.
What's this is
1880,
1980. So
and
it's
then
18
1980.
So it's 1880. I know. I can probably have swords still.
But they're not pirates now. Pirate lepers.
But I think anyone sailing probably had a sword. That's what I'm saying. A little sword.
But they're lepers.
It's
What
18
do they have to
it's-
fear? Nothing.
I think they fear death. And being attacked.
I guess I'm curious. So they must not have. There must have been another curse, right? So they're double crossed by the town during the witching hour,
Yeah.
and
That's
that
what
lets
happened.
them haunt the earth every 100 years looking for
I
revenge.
guess so.
They really learned they found their way with power lines and technology really
Yeah,
quickly,
they were knocking out generators and power lines.
and they learned
gas tanks.
fast. Lepers
Well, they've been out there plotting, waiting,
learning for the witching
and
hour.
finally their time came.
And they really seized that. They carped that time.
They carped the diem
Yep.
for sure.
They carped that leper army. I don't know.
She kept talking about fog banks coming in. Now, can you deposit into a fog bank?
I don't think so. I think
Do you
it's.
gain interest?
I think it's withdrawal only.
Can I get a fog loan? Do you suppose?
No,
'Cause
you can get a mist
I'm
loan.
putting on a death metal
You
show.
can get a mist loan.
Putting on a death metal show. I can really use some fog.
Is it going to be a rock and roll fable?
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Maybe. See, there was a frog at one point. Did you hear that frog?
I mean, I feel like I don't have to tell you. The soundtrack on this was amazing, and I
pretty good.
probably the reason I don't remember much about the plot is because I was busy conducting this orchestra.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I get into it. It's very fun, and I noticed the frog. But I gotta say that I don't know if it's a prodigy or like the last great artist. This film had the premier triangle player on cue.
Oh, are you talking about that? Like that ding, 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 ding,
Yes,
ding, ding.
that one.
That was a triangle player, huh?
I mean, the man's an artist with a triangle.
I mean, he certainly was working pretty hard.
Relentless.
He was.
And it was appreciated, deeply appreciated. I mean, I would.
I'd have to agree. He did some fine work, that triangle player.
When I watched this
Triangled the shit out of that
again,
triangle.
he did. He triangled the shit out of it. And when I watched this again, before I appreciate the gas pump gypsies, I appreciate the triangle.
As you should.
Yeah, really dug it. And, in case you forgot, it's April 21st. And a happy birthday for Antonio Bay.
That's right.
I mean,
It is April 21st.
It is
We did a neat. We kind of did. It was a coincidence. Kind of neat.
Yeah. I mean, how fun is that?
That's fun.
Now,
Listeners, how fun is that?
the only thing we have left to complete is 6 must die.
6
I mean, that
must
doesn't
die.
make sense. That's more than we have. That's a little terrifying. We just got to make sure we don't sink a leper ship
Yeah,
on the witching hour. But now it could be the
Or
witching
any
hour for
hour.
one of us, and the other one thinks we're safe,
it's true.
and then that's trouble.
Well, you do it, and I won't do it.
Okay, I'm gonna sink a leper ship. I'm gonna move
Okay.
the fire first because it's not safe as close to the house as it is right now.
Okay, good. I'll just stay here eating pretzels.
And then you just got to remember that midnight to one belongs to the dead.
Okay, I guess I can remember that.
Those pretzels making you thirsty?
Pretzels are making me thirsty.
I don't know. I think we never see we at the beginning with the old captain telling the story. The kid listening is the main kid.
Yep.
We never see that ship captain again, right?
No, I don't believe so.
That's kind of weird. Although
suppose-
less weird because I did notice that in the trivia, Carpenter, when they got this cut, it was too short.
Oh, so they threw
And
that.
so
yeah.
they shot that, and it was only
Too
5
short.
minutes,
That's
but
interesting.
it certainly added time. So I guess they shot it later, and he probably wasn't part of it. He was probably a crew member.
Sure.
That makes more sense. Yeah. Antonio Bay, California. I wonder what KAB stands for. I guess K Antonio Bay.
I guess so.
They should have put KABC, which would be accurate. It could be
Sure.
Antonio Bay, California.
They didn't do it though.
Come on, Johnny.
Jonathan.
Or Elizabeth Dane.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I got ideas.
Ah, they're not very good, but
That's true. They're
got some.
terrible.
Oh, this movie gave me my first jump scare in quite a long time.
Oh yeah, what happened?
It was yeah, it was the weatherman. That's funny that I forgot about that death. It's when he died, the music goes, you know, it's just a typical jump scare thing. It just went, and then you see that hand, and boy, be damned if I didn't jump.
There's like the gentle, abrupt hand that creeps in.
Yeah. And then the other one slices him with a meat hook.
I guess it would be weird back then to have to wait for a weather report. But she kept saying, like, haven't heard from the weatherman yet, so not sure about that rain. But there is a full moon. I'm like, sure. There's a big fog bank coming in, too.
A lot of fog banks.
A lot of fog banks. Yeah, to see the fog through the mist.
It's tough to do.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't get. Why do you think they called it the fog instead of the witching hour?
Yeah, I don't know.
I would have called it the witching hour.
You've talked to me about this before.
Adamantly.
I know. The witching hour is pretty cool.
Yeah. Is that where that comes from? Is midnight to 1? Is that what that?
I thought it was more like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
3:12 or something like that.
I would have assumed it was like 6:66, but then it would be like 7:06.
That's not a time.
Could be.
You know, but it's not.
That's true. No one calls it that.
Nobody asks you nothing.
Nobody tells me nothing. Well, yeah. Overall, I thought it was fun.
Yeah, I did too.
I really think that
agreeing.
Barbeau carried it.
Sure.
So
she was fine.
Are we ready to rate it?
Yeah.
I mean, it was interesting. Like there wasn't any overt sexuality from it. Like Jamie Lee Curtis was in bed right away with the guy, but she was covered up.
And he was too.
And Barbeau. She was like a sex symbol of her day.
Yep.
But they had her wearing flannel and
just being a man.
Just being comfortable.
Being a mammy.
Yeah. Well, it was good. I mean, it definitely takes a different turn of even Carpenter stuff. Like in Halloween, there's usually a naked lady somewhere. 1 or 2. Yeah. And this was just a good suspense movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was rated R, but I'm not sure why.
Yeah, it was kind of graphic, I suppose.
Wasn't any blood, really.
It's not an extreme amount, but like the meat hook went through the weather guy's neck at the very least.
I mean, it went into his neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
there was a jump scare in it.
Grasping at straws there, yeah.
All right.
I think a jump scare.
So I don't remember how much I paid for this, but I think I bought it when we did a Halloween show.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just along that same aisle.
Sure.
So I happen to already own it. I would say we'll just say that it was like $5.99. We'll say I got it at the cheap from Last Stop.
Okay.
I'd pay $5 for it.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Holy buckets.
Yeah.
I also owned it, but I do sex suit the Saw. How come I don't do the sound bit anymore? I should do that again. Start bringing that back. Sex the Saw. It's pretty good sex. No.
See, I didn't think
it was
adequate
sex. It'd been a long time since I've seen it. I liked it. All right.
Did you like it? Okay, the next time around.
Yeah, I liked it better.
Good.
So I'd say we're probably giving her, I don't know, 70-ish.
Yeah, high 70s, low 80s. Yeah.
Maybe more.
I mean, mine's higher than yours. I think.
Yeah, it is.
But yeah, well, that's a solid B, I'd say.
It's a solid movie.
It's a good movie. I really liked it. So,
good for you.
I guess that leaves us with Kalima!
Mm-hmm.
Choose your death in Deutschland?
Choose your death in Deutschland? Yeah. Let's do it.
All right, so your options
into a Dutchman
are 3. They are all from Adrienne Barbeau.
You love her.
I do love her. I'd love to meet her. Play some craps with her. Anyway, we have for options the 1987 film Open House. We have, I guess I could open this up.
Prepared as always.
Typical me. I know you're shocked by that.
I am.
All right. Open house. 1987.
What are you doing?
I'm opening the house. So this is
the house.
someone is killing off Newble real estate agents. A psychologist doing a therapy talk show begins getting calls from the perpetrator.
Newble?
That's what it says.
Huh.
And cooperates with the police to try and stop him. Unfortunately, his lover is a real estate agent, and when it becomes clear that the madman is getting information for his kills from her discarded home listings, they both become endangered.
Okay.
Well,
sounds kind of dumb.
Next, we have Swamp Thing, 1982.
Ooh, Swamp Thing. Swamp Thing.
Do the Swamp Thing. After a violent incident with a special chemical, a research scientist is turned into a swamp plant monster. And starring Louise Jordan, Adrienne Barbeau, Ray Weiss.
Ray Weiss, I like him.
Yeah, Nicholas Worth and David Hess. And last but not least, we have Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
What's it called?
Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death.
That's it.
You want to hear what it's about?
Nope. Mm-mm.
Cannibal Women.
No, that's Cannibal Women.
You're just for sure going to do it, huh?
Avocado Jungle.
Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. 1989.
You had me.
You had me at Avocado Jungle of Death.
I don't see how we could not watch that.
Yeah, I mean,
hit me with the synopsis.
I think it only makes it worse if I read the synopsis at this point.
I mean, it's this,
Does it
but I still.
what it is?
No, you know what? I don't want it.
All right.
Just for the name. I'm judging by the.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed in myself because the Swamp Thing would have been fun.
Sure.
But Cannibal Women in the Avocado Jungle of Death. I mean, what are the chances we circle back to that ever?
No.
Yeah.
Oh man.
We're doing it.
Cool.
I mean, it's your call.
No, yeah, I told you as soon as I heard that name.
1989.
It's an 89er?
It's an 89, and we're following Adrienne Barbeau.
Adrienne Barbeau. Okay.
All right. Well.
I miss you. I miss you.
It'll be, keep a journal of your journey like you did on the bus ride that time.
Okay.
And be sure to take people's phones and subscribe them to our channel.
Okay.
And in case you forgot, it's April 21st, and a happy birthday for Antonio Bay.
Happy birthday, Antonio Bay.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Well, it's been a slice. Always remember, don't be a sucker. Guten Nacht.
Okay, love you, bye.
The portions of today's broadcast that you actually enjoyed are brought to you in whole by...
Is your cemetery overcrowded?
Are you down amongst the biting brambles trying to visit your loved ones?
Well, you're in luck for limited time only.
We've got your back.
And your front.
Gather your ghouls.
It's time for the haunted harvest.
Tombstones is for names, baby.
They're so 20th century.
Release the beast. Grab your butterfly net and the kiddos and take them to the park for an event they'll never forget.
That's right. Get your thing for the kiddos. Safety not guaranteed. Gather at your own risk, folks.
See you there.